You know, Dunkers, Angel Has Fallen is so uninteresting to talk about that I gave serious consideration to reinterpreting the lyrics to Robbie Williams' classic song Angels, before realising that A, that would have meant putting more effort into this film than anyone actually associated with the film. That's not a full joke, by the way. Morgan Freeman has openly admitted in interviews that he did this movie mainly for the money. Or B, after an hour I just couldn't get the script to work, so I decided to rough it with a traditional review because, well, I think I actually have quite a lot to say about this mediocre, meaningless, worst way to end an unexpected trilogy since Taken 3 Take Heart with a Vengeance, which is a shame because this film actually has a lot going for it. For an action film, we find our hero, Mike Banning, Gerard Butler, stretching himself by playing a shouty bloke with facial hair who kills a lot of people, star of the previous two films in this trilogy, as a pill-popping, insomnia-afflicted, doctor-hopping mess who's starting to realise that time only moves one way, and if the time has come to sit behind a desk or not. He's also got a new child and a new person playing his wife. Now, that's a brilliant setup for an action hero, by design already facing impossible odds, but as someone who's worried they might be losing that all-important step, that's an awesome springboard for someone to work from. But sadly, apart from the first 10 minutes, this interesting idea isn't really referenced apart from whenever the director feels like doing something artsy for a few seconds. Anything else that's worth talking about? Well, the opening drone attack is okay, I guess, but it's the film's sole memorable action sequence, and it featured so heavily in the trailer that it just felt tired and old by the time I saw it in the actual film. On the other hand, it is nice to see something approaching practical effects in a summer movie, so
I got that going for me, which is nice.
I would describe the plot, which actually sounds halfway decent. As Secret Service agent Mike Banning is framed for the attempted assassination of the president and must evade his own agency and the FBI as he tries to uncover the real threat. You could make a pretty decent thriller out of that, if any of the 7 credited writers assume that the audience had an IQ above that of a twiglet. If, by the 15-minute mark, you haven't worked out every single aspect of this plot, then let me know and I'll send you some of my script guy's money, as I'm sure that I can make a tax-deductible charitable donation to you. Actually, it barely seems worth the effort to state that Banning has been set up because the film doesn't care. Forget any idea you might have of the fugitive with a higher body count.
I didn't kill my wife! I don't care!
Because the film doesn't have any ambitions that high. Hell, it barely seems to have ambitions as high as Taken 3.
All you have to know is I'm innocent.
If you give me 2 days, I can prove it.
I can find out who did it.
You may very well be innocent, Mr. Mills.
But
that's the court's job to decide. It's not mine.
I get the feeling that if Banning had simply been a lone survivor, plagued with survivor's guilt, and feeling forced to go rogue because of red tape, then the film would have been happier and better. There were two, what I think were supposed to be major set pieces, aside from the one that basically made up 95% of the trailer, but since I have no idea what was happening, where it was happening, how many people our hero was fighting, or even the layout of the fight scene, I was never even close to caring. Context, people. Context, context, context. Oh, also it didn't help that Banning had also forgotten that he was meant to be a crippled, pill-addicted mess by that point, so that plot thread went nowhere. Oh, and even the film had given up on itself by the last 20 minutes, with the VFX guys flooding the screen with some truly shocking CGI smoke, which would have looked bad 10 years ago. All the characters are flat as a pancake, Freeman's barely a cameo, and I just wasn't having any fun with an action film about people who won... Actually, I have no idea what the villain wanted. Money, probably. Or a better script. A film in which a guilt-ridden wreck takes on a massive conspiracy whilst being hunted by the government with twists and turns, as well as plenty of fight scenes. But the days of the intelligent thriller are over. Instead, I have to deal with this schlock. The first was Die Hard in the White House with one memorable line of dialogue.
You know what? Why don't you and I play a game of fuck off? You go first.
The second had the worst depiction of London I think I've ever seen, and this doesn't have anything unique or memorable about it. All it has are its action scenes, which are dull, and its conspiracy, which takes up maybe 4 minutes of screen time. Butler wants this to be the last one, and so do I. There is a possibly good film in here, but it will need a complete rewrite by someone who doesn't hold their audience in complete contempt to even come close. Until then, I'm loving Angels instead. So I definitely think that you should skip it. But what did you guys think? And what is your most mediocre end to a trilogy ever? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel, it's been a dunking. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe.